What's up, Refuge and Mosaic? We wanted to put together a kind of a series introduction for you guys because over the next 8 weeks together, we're gonna be jumping into a series on the attributes of God, but it's gonna look a lot different than what you might be used to, right? In Refuge, we're used to a live teacher, right? More often than not. And in Mosaic House Group, you're used to maybe like one pastor participating in sort of a solo shot in the video. Video guys do a great job making it look great, but it's just one person in the video the whole time. And over the next 8 weeks, we have something a little bit more creative, a little more exciting kind of in store that we hope is a blessing to you guys. So we want to kind of explain, here's what we're about to do, because sometimes new things are really exciting, but sometimes new things also are kind of hard to enter into. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this, and so we wanted to set this up for you guys to enter in really well over the next 8 weeks of this series. So give them an idea of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, so over the course of the next 8 weeks, all of us together, Refuge and Mosaic, we're going to be hearing from a bunch of our different pastors from our different campuses, and they're going to be sharing their story. And so that's different than what we've done in the past, but we are going to kind of gather together as a family and hear stories about how God has revealed himself to us. And so you're going to hear from lots of different pastors from different campuses. Some of them you may know, some of you may not. And so you're going to be able to kind of be introduced to them and hear a story of how in a specific season or even in a specific moment, how God revealed themselves in a specific way, as a specific attribute of who he is, and how that impacted them as they pursue Jesus and follow him.
Yeah. So with this being kind of personal in nature, with this hearing stories, we really set up the teaching time in 3 kind of separate parts of the video. It's going to start, each and every one of them is going to start with a bit of an interview, just a couple minutes long for you to kind of get to know the pastor that you're about to hear from. Now, you might recognize that pastor. They might be at your campus or over your ministry space, and so you may know them already. Play along anyway, get to know them even more. And what we're going to do in that is kind of say, hey, here's who I am, here's some stuff I love, here's some funny things about me, but also, here's how I became a pastor, and here's how I see God in the sense of what is one of the attributes of God that's really been kind of expressed in my own walk with him. And that really sets up the second part of the teaching video, which is going to be that individual sharing a story about, hey, in scripture or in my life, here's where God has really shown himself in this way. And I think it's a really awesome thing for us to experience.
Yeah, for sure. And so after kind of hearing the heart of that pastor, of how they have seen God reveal himself to them, we're going to have a time where you're going to have 3 different pastors, not the same pastor that just spoke and shared their heart, but 3 different pastors having a conversation around what they just heard from that other person and how they've also seen God reveal to himself in that way. And some of that conversation will be in your own life, how those experiences may be similar or how they may be different. But it's our hope also that you'd be able to receive that as a model as you go into community group time, to be able to engage with your peers and hear each other's stories and have a space to share that. It's also a space to be able to ask the question, if you've not experienced God in that way, what do we do with that? If we know these are truths about who God is and these are attributes of his person, then how do we engage in that? What do we do with that when maybe I'm not experiencing God in that way? And we can all have different experiences of how God reveals himself to us based on our circumstances and different seasons of life that we're in. And so this series is a really unique chance for us to get to know one another and to share our stories as we seek to know God more intimately.
Yeah, I think that last part is super key, right? It says we get to know each other, we get to know who God is, the ways he's revealed himself to our friends and to ourselves. And so we want this not to feel, like academic in nature, right? We want this to feel personal. We want to kind of set up a kind of a warm space, right? An opportunity for us to get to know one another, and in doing so, get to know God personally for ourselves in a deeper way, and then be transformed by the reality of what it looks like to know a God who's revealed himself. We're really pumped about this, so join us for the next 8 weeks. We hope this is a blessing to you guys, refreshing to you, and something that invites you to walk away when this is all said and done with a deeper, more life-transforming understanding of who God is and how he might show up in your life. So we love you guys. Looking forward to the next 8 weeks together.